All right, so I am here with Kristin. We just did a interview, so if you haven't checked that out, please do. It got emotional, very informative too, and
yes,
I love Kristin, so please listen to that. But we're going to do something a little fun. We're going to play a game modeled after one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is Hot Ones, and I love it so much. So they have this game called Truth or Dab where you ask the other person an uncomfortable question and they can either answer the question or they have to eat a wing with hot sauce. And this is like...
That's the last one.
This is the last dab, so this is the hottest one.
Because I am also a huge fan and I've done the whole gamut. And this one's not as bad as Da Bomb, but it's gonna not be great.
Yeah,
so it could get really weird real fast.
Because I had the idea to do this with you, but I wasn't prepared with hot sauce, and you were like, "I have hot sauce." So
I have too many hot sauces.
Thank you. So unfortunately, we didn't have little wings, but we did order chicken tenders. So
I'm so excited to eat.
What we'll do is we could just like dab it on the chicken tender and eat it if we have to. So I'm gonna start.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and then you'll ask me.
All right.
Okay. This one's not too hard. What is the worst client experience that you've ever had in your entire career in the beauty industry?
God, I've had so many bad ones, which is so sad, but I think everyone has like an arsenal of shitty stories.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a weird one. I hope you can follow it. This woman came, we did volume lashes on her. She left and she sends me a picture of a strip lash on a pillow the next morning. And she's like, my husband said, are these my lashes? Because my husband keeps telling me they're my lashes. And I was like, I don't put strip lashes on people, like they're individual fans. I was trying to dance around this topic because I was like, it's blatant that your husband's cheating on you, right? Like that's the question that you're asking me. Oh my God, it was so awkward. And she's like, no, these have to be mine. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But like I sent her a YouTube video of like, this is kind of the application process. So they wouldn't all come off at once. And then it was just like radio silence after that. And she never came back. But dude totally was gaslighting her, telling her that those were her lashes. And it was like a really gross old strip lash. And I was just like, this is so awkward that you are not seeing that is clearly also, ew, he didn't even wash the sheets after.
Wow.
That was so awkward.
I wonder
she was like mad at me. She was like
being really,
what? She was like, no, these have to be mine. But it was sad.
That's how that goes though, I think.
Yeah.
When they are in denial, they project it somewhere else. I wonder if the other woman left it there on purpose.
She's like a little piece of me.
Oh my gosh.
That's so nasty.
That's terrible.
She's getting her face pushed in a pillow as well as happening.
Yeah, I know. I was just had that picture in my head too, but didn't want to say, but you did. So
sorry. I'm pretty gross.
Wow.
Okay. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in front of a client?
It's
you can
not
always eat
too
hot
bad,
sauce.
But whenever I was pregnant, my scrubs, because we wear scrubs at work. My scrubs were so tight over my new pregnant bump. And I had cut a little piece so that it could like
stretch.
Yeah, because I never bought maternity maternity scrubs.
Must be nice. I was massive.
Oh no, I was, but I literally
just
cut
push them to the bottom.
Yeah,
like low rise.
Yes, but like they couldn't do that unless I like cut them a little bit. And that day, for whatever reason, they still weren't big enough. So like I ripped them, and not only did it sound like
you farted,
yeah,
super loud. That's hilarious.
And I didn't. It was like
sure,
really,
Shelby.
But I remember I look over because this was when we had like our big our open floor plan. I look over at the girl like working next to me, and she just was working. She goes like that, and like no one said anything, and I just was like, sorry, that was my pants ripping. But then that wasn't the worst part. because it was open like that, and like my scrub top wasn't super long, like my belly was just out, and like I think I was like talking to another client. And did you have this experience where like you wouldn't really feel your belly being exposed when it was exposed?
A little bit at the bottom. It felt like a little numb at a certain point from stretch. Yeah.
So my belly was out, and I just I remember she looked down, and then I was like, oh God. And then like whenever like the exchange was over, I just looked down and I'm like, I'm fully out, like my belly's just out, and it just made me feel so like uncomfortable. So it's not that bad, but
you were Rihanna before Rihanna.
Yeah,
exactly. You were just wearing crop top to work with your stomach out.
God,
that's so funny though.
So yeah, not that bad, but that is a time where I felt embarrassed, even if the other people just thought I was like farting and in large.
Someone a few clients down was like, whoa.
I know. Okay.
Uh-oh. It's like it's gonna get dangerous now.
Okay, so rank.
Oh God.
Your current renters.
That's so evil.
From favorite to least favorite.
No fucking way. Give me a dab.
Okay.
No way.
I knew, obviously.
Oh, you're so evil. Now I got to think of a really evil one for her. Oh yeah, that's so evil. Okay, wait, I'll take it down.
Is that big enough, do you think?
Yeah, that's enough. It's been a while since I did this, so we'll see. All right, here we go, guys. I'm taking a scoop. It's already spicy. It's so good, though.
Oh, no.
It's okay. I just put a little bit, so not bad. Okay, good. I'm feeling okay. It's starting to go numb, but it's feeling good.
Oh my gosh. I am actually really bad with, like, I actually only ate hot stuff when I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Hate hot stuff, like, before this, but eating hot Cheetos is even a thing for me. Like, it's hard.
It's, like, painful?
I eat a Cheeto water, but it's, like, good, but I also can't tolerate it that well. But anyway.
Okay, now I'm just going to say something so you have to eat it, too. Your least favorite training you've ever been to?
Oh, God. Oh, no.
I'm like, are you actually going to share it?
I'm going to try. Let me think.
Wow. You're bold. I like it. Oh, this chicken is good. I'm going to eat some more.
I think I can answer it, actually. Wait.
I'm
trying to think if there's even a worse one than that. Someone asked me the other day who you trained with, and I just went blank. I was like, I don't know.
We've taken so many over the years. It's like a decade of trainings.
Mm-hmm. Well,
esthetician school, period. Closed book.
Actually, I really liked my esthetician school. I felt like it was at a stage where it was growing bigger, and they couldn't they didn't as much like focus on the lash stuff. I went to esthetician school, so obviously we're focusing on skin mostly, but
that's true.
I would just go in a room and just like lash a student all the time, and then I would do that every day. And one day they came in, they were like, Shelby, you should be in the lecture right now. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I do this all the time, but like I didn't say that, but I just thought it was funny because like the last like month I've been doing this and nobody noticed. But yeah, I really loved lashes. Anyways, I think my least favorite one, actually, because if I have to name it, I don't think I
have to name it. That's why you have to eat hot sauce right now.
Okay. Wait, can I just use that?
Yeah, you can use that. Unless you want to be crazier.
Instead?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. It's not so bad. It's more of like a numb feeling.
Oh, it doesn't smell like anything.
It's not so bad.
I'm scared.
I was actually scared because the last time I did this, I did the worst one right before that. I was like, I couldn't get away from myself. It was like the worst feeling. And then I did that, and I was worried that that had numbed my tongue and that this was way worse. But it's actually really good. You don't like it, though.
That's good?
Yeah, that's not so bad. You don't like spicy, though?
It's actually not like I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It is a weird feeling.
Yeah.
It's in the back of my throat.
Oh, you did good then, because you're supposed to like try to swallow it instead of chewing it and getting it all over. Oh my gosh, your eyes just lit up though.
I don't like it, but it wasn't. It really was.
It's not as bad, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's worse ones. There's one in the middle that's like habanero that really messed me up. Last stab's not so bad.
The Da Bomb one is.
The bomb one is the worst. It should be the last one because that one's not so bad compared to
Yeah,
it.
I love watching that show and just waiting for someone who doesn't watch the show to like get to the Da Bomb because they're like, this is fine.
Everyone's fine and then they die at that one.
Yeah, it's so
I agree.
funny.
Charlize Theron was like, I feel nothing. It's like
There are some people that like
there's a mosquito on my arm.
Okay.
Oh, great. What evilness do you have next?
What is your least favorite? I'm really feeling it in my mouth right now. What is your least favorite student interaction that you've had? Not necessarily saying like the person, but like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so easy. It's funny because those things, since it's trauma, it's like burned in your skull. We were doing lashes second day. You're doing your model. Oh my God, Shelby's dying over here. She's going to tell the truth from now on. So she was having a really hard time and she was telling me like, this should be easy. Why is this so hard? Like, I thought this would be easy, which I find completely offensive because lashing is so hard. Are you joking me? It's like, yeah, okay. So she got frustrated and she threw her tweezers on the floor and walked out crying. And I was like, you're a grown woman.
Wait, was this a classic or volume class?
It was classic.
Oh.
Yeah. I think she just thought it was going to be like piece of cake. So that was super freaking awkward because the part of me who is like super mean and very like, because there's definitely a side of me that's like, you have to work hard. You have to, I don't accept that from people. I was like, okay, you have to be empathetic. Like, remember how hard this was. And so it was good learning for me because I basically was just like, hey, if you get 3 lashes on, you did it today. Like, you don't have to, there's nothing crazy that needs to happen from this. You're just going to have to practice on a mannequin because obviously having a model is really too much for you.
For sure.
But she had a horrible attitude and was complaining the whole time. And it messes with the whole class because then everyone starts to freak out. And I was like, you have to be quiet. Like, you're not allowed to talk. I'm sorry. Or you can go home. Like, it's so bad.
So yeah, I've had something similar. And so every class I teach, or even right now, the people that we're licensing, so, you know, they're not licensed at all yet. Like we're the beauty school now.
Yeah.
We give them mindset first thing.
Yeah.
You know, because like I've had that
relaxing.
happen.
Should be
where it's
chill.
like, ooh, you need to tell them actually what to expect and tell them how much work it's going to take, or that they should continue to take more classes after.
Sure.
You know, because otherwise they're just like, they put it all on the one trainer that they're ever thinking they're going to have.
Yeah, I think once you start training, you realize when you hear bad things about other trainers, you're like, no, you're actually a bad student.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how to learn.
Yeah.
And you don't know that you're not accepting that it takes time. People just want what we have immediately. And I'm like, it took me 7 years.
Do people ever tell you, this was the best training I've ever taken? I never learned anything like this in my other trainings.
Yeah.
And I think you might have even heard that before, but you weren't ready to receive it. There's so much information in this industry. Yep. We can only impart so much at one time. I'm sure someone has said that about me at one point. If I was the first person to teach them, right? Yeah. But if I'm the 10th person.
Yeah. If you give too much information, you're overwhelming. If you don't give enough, then they feel like they didn't get what they paid. You're withholding, or you didn't get what you pay for. So I would say, yes, I implant little advanced techniques in all of my manuals, and I literally just put a star next to them, and I'm like, when you're ready to receive this young Jedi, when you've put in the work, you'll look at that page and go, oh, that's how I layer, or that's what she was talking about. Because it takes you a while to see.
Yeah.
Right? You don't see layers at first. You have to look for them, and then your mind just gets accustomed to it. So I would say take shit talk with a grain of salt, period, because I've been so wrong about people. People have told me like, this person's terrible, all this stuff, and I believe them. And then I meet the person and I'm like, they're the nicest person ever. So like, who even cares anymore? Oh, are you okay? Shelby's dying over here. I'm like, should I put more?
Every once in a while, I feel something that I do not like. So.
Tingling.
Is it my turn or is it your turn? Yeah, it's your turn.
My turn.
To ask.
Ooh, this is hard.
See?
I should just dare you. Take more. Eat more. Okay. How do you feel about the lashes where they're literally like this big and they're like a bird's wing on your eye? Do you think that's a good look?
I don't. I am not attracted to that.
You're going to go the diplomatic route.
But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I do not behold that to be beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that works.
When I see really, really long lashes, sometimes I think most humans looking at that would say, those lashes are really long, versus I want my clients, people to think, whoa, her eyes are beautiful.
Yeah.
Not her lashes are really long.
That's a good point. I don't think people want to lead walking in a room with their lashes or their lip filler or whatever. I think they want to just see you at your best.
Your face, like all of our faces are so beautiful. Like let's enhance those and not let the lashes overtake them, because they can, as with anything that we do. Like, and I think also like, I think I even used to like a lot longer lashes than I do now.
Yeah.
And
when you start,
changes.
you do, because you want drama. You're scared that if you don't give them something dramatic, they won't feel like something happened to them.
Yeah.
At first. And now I'm like, no.
Yeah. And then you realize like we all kind of have different ideas of, or like we just have different aesthetics, like a lot of us do. And so you kind of just realize what your thing is. Yeah, I can physically grab a 17 and put it on your inner corner. Sure. I can grab that.
Yeah.
Should I? Will it look as good as if I did a 7 in there? No. And so I even think starting with like 9s in the inner corner is too long. I think 6 or 7. There's even 4s and 5s.
They're my favorite. I love going down teeny tiny, but also I will say that's harder for new students. So don't feel like
that is
crazy if you have to do an 8 or a 9 in the corner. But as you, but as you progress, you start to fine tune your artistry. Yes. And that's how it's little things like that, like going down to a 7 instead of a 10 all the way across. But I like how you diplomatically, because I have clients who send me those videos all the time from like certain people. And I'm like, it's just like the reddest eyes. There's bottom lashes. There's top lashes. There's so much happening. And it honestly just reminds me of RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm like, oh, these are my girls. And like, I can get on board for that. If you like to be very, big. I just like I don't really know. I know you're like starving, or the hot sauce hit you.
It's like upsetting me.
But I agree. It's hard to judge our artwork, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you don't have to take a dab. I'm probably gonna have to take a dab.
Okay.
It sounds like weed though when we say take a dab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there an artist or place in our city
you're like calling people out
where you know that if the client calls and says, I'm coming from this place, that you already know you're not going to take them?
So I'll just answer because I take anyone. I still do. I think saving clients is the easiest way to form a loyal relationship with somebody. And I just have a different pricing for somebody coming in for a foreign fill. I don't make them, I think it's weird to be like, oh, nope, this is a full set and I'm just full set police and I'm going to do this, because sometimes things happen with your clients you've had for 7 years where they need a lot more time. All we do is just book more time. Yeah. I'm not punishing them. I don't care. And also none of them say like, don't charge me less. My clients don't do that.
Yeah.
So I love a foreign fill. I have some of my best clients that I've had for like 6 years.
I was just going to say
because I had foreign fills.
Yeah.
And so these people who are like, I don't take foreign fills, ask you where you're from. I'm like, I don't care where you're from. Do you like the way I lash? Because if you like what I'm doing, then I'm going to do that to you. It's the people who come in and they're like, this is a call I hate. Hi, how long of lashes do you guys do at your studio? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't go above like a 12 or 13 because I just don't usually, unless I need that for an eye shape. And they're like, oh my God, that's too short. And they hang up and I'm like, good riddance. Like, I don't care. Also, like, why do you want people who tell you how to do your job.
Yes. So
weird.
that's kind of I feel like we've seen it all, like both of us, like
Yeah.
because there's been situations where it's like this person was so grateful that we took them and
Yeah.
helped them out, educated them a little bit, rehabbed their lashes.
Yeah.
And then you have the other side where it's like, I've been getting my lashes done this long, and my best friend does them and she's amazing.
Cool.
Blah,
Go
blah,
back to
blah.
her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even beat around the bush anymore. I'm like, if you don't like my work, then you shouldn't come to me, you know, because I'm not in that realm where I have to accept every single client. They basically, if I don't want them, they're not going to be there.
We recently started, because we used to have a new client fill as an option on our menu, and it was just like a really...
It's like 2 hours,
2
like
hours.
$200, something like, yeah, totally. That's what we do, or I do.
Now we just ask them to come in for a consultation, or we can do a consultation over the phone, really. But like what I'm looking for is your receptiveness to any recommendations, or just kind of getting an idea of like what is a client looking for. If they're looking for a specific length, like when they say, "Do you carry 18s?"
Yes,
that's a bad.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, red flag. And you're just like, are you willing to discuss like any changes to the lash line if we feel like professionally they need to be made? And if they're not, then it might not be a good fit. We may just not have a space for them in our schedule. But yeah, a lot of times people are coming because they just moved in from out of town. Their artist is really good, or their person is sick or whatever. And so I don't think like shunning people for coming is a good way to go about it. But for me, there are places that like I kind of do, like I can kind of hear it already, or like I've seen something and I'm like, yeah, I already know what this is going to look like. Let me just make sure the client is receptive to or open to changing.
There's only two people I fear clients from in this town. I'm not going to say their names, but there's only two people. Honestly, everyone always thinks we're going to say, well, what are the branches? The lash, like the branches, the lash branches that are like, they're like the McDonald's of lashes. I'm trying to think.
Walmart?
Walmart. No.
Cut that out, please.
Like no, people who what is it? It's called like the Lash Lounge, or there's the Lash Amazing Lash. Okay. So a lot of students are like, do you just think that's the worst work and all this stuff? And I honestly, I know lashers who came from Amazing Lash who are freaking phenomenal. They were just not given the time. They were not given they weren't able to talk to clients or like stand up for themselves with clients. And I think that's a bad business model to be like, you have to do every kind of fill in 45 minutes. That's ridiculous.
They're not given the right amount of time to create.
If you gave me 30 minutes to create something beautiful, would it look as beautiful as my work? No, it wouldn't.
And like a lot of times they are fixing their coworkers' lashes there. Yes, I've had
it's not the same person coming back, so you can't create uniformity. Yeah.
A couple of the pink ladies have come from Amazing Lash.
I have two. Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
Great at lashes, and they're super nice people. And yeah. So I will say you always have to look in, if somebody's working for somebody and you're like, oh, they're doing bad lashes, it's probably how it's set up for them. They probably could flourish somewhere else, but I don't. So when people always think it's going to be bad there, I've seen really beautiful lashes come from there. So it just depends on the artist. Yeah. Oh man, I'm like, okay. What's? I just want you to have to eat more hot sauce. This is really hard though. Okay. Who is the lasher who's been the meanest to you in your career? Now you have to eat hot sauce.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody who like singled you out and made you feel awful and like harassed you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, I have had that happen to me. And I can't say who, but I
think that a lot of people who have just started see bigger like people, and they put them on kind of they put people on pedestals, and then if like they think of them as not people anymore. right?
Yes.
It's like with celebrities, like, do I actually know Kim Kardashian? No. But
If
like when
you
something
are
funny happens, like,
hating someone,
yeah.
and the second they stand in front of you, like if you soften at all your
Yeah.
opinion, you probably have been projecting your own shit onto this person.
Yes.
Who's a real person.
Yeah. They're real people and they have feelings, and it hurts when people are mean to you.
And the way that I describe it is, look, like I'm here
Here, I'll take this
chasing a dream just as you want to be chasing a dream. And if you just don't like someone because
of whatever it is.
yeah.
I know. It's really silly. We can form these like fake hatreds towards people all day long. I think it's very easy. Oh my gosh, Shelby hates this. This is so funny. I'm actually like, oh, I'm going to put more on this one. For the last thing, I'm just going to eat a huge one. I think the good takeaway from this is that everyone has someone who's been mean to them. It doesn't really matter who. And if however you're feeling is, you probably could make a friend out of that foe. You probably have a lot more in common than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's definitely, I think with COVID and
I thought you were going to say
politics, I have friends who are on completely different sides of both of those things. And we're still friends because we are respectful to each other and have different yeah, it finally hit my mouth. Different views on things.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say actually like you make friends because y'all just don't like the same person or something.
Oh,
That
a lot of
happens
people
too.
do that. Yeah.
But I really respect people that are like
Stay out of it.
that, or like that wasn't my experience. She's actually really nice.
Yeah, like stand up for the person. Yeah.
who's not even in the room, can't defend themselves.
Sure.
Because a lot of times, and it's hard to trust people too that like talk negatively about people that I am gonna stop talking.
No, I think I'm not even gonna act like I'm like a saint in this. I think when I first started, I had a lot of ego attached to things. And if I felt like somebody didn't give me enough time, especially like someone who was like really fancy or whatever, I'd be like, oh, I don't like her.
Yeah.
That's so stupid, by the way. I don't know what you're going through on a daily basis. I think even, and then you also hear it from just like local lash artists. Like you'll hear something about like me, or you'll hear something about you. And then they form opinions, and I'm like, we haven't even had a fucking drink together.
Yeah.
Like, calm down here.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually want to talk to me about it, I'm like one of those people. If you were really mad about something, Shelby, and you were like, hey, I heard you said this about me, I would so much rather you just said that.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, yeah, I was coming from a place of being weak and jealous of you, because that's 100% of where it usually comes from for me. Can't speak for other people. But the times where I have those negative feelings, like, why does she have that and I don't? That's a horrible way to live, and no one should have those feelings. And now I'm human, but I immediately go to that person's page and I'm like, you're killing it, girl. So proud of you, because it's really just my inner saboteur or insecurity that's making me say that stuff. Like, I actually don't believe any of it.
Yeah.
But it just happens.
I think when you become like a mom,
Oh yeah.
you start to see the world differently, become more compassionate towards people, and
yeah, absolutely.
I even look at other mothers or parents in general like differently, because it's like all of us are out here really trying to like fight for our families.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people also, like, you think that they care so much more about you than they do. Like sometimes it's just a miscommunication also. And
yeah.
But yeah, I do think I try to watch out for people now that like try to put negative things into my head about people that I haven't met yet.
Yep.
Because why are you doing that? Like,
you know, once you have that experience with them yourself, you're going to form your own opinion anyway. So, I mean, there's definitely times where you have good friends or people in your life who you really do trust. Like Lindy's been one of my best Lash friends forever. I could tell her anything. But also the great part of our relationship is she would say, no, I don't think that's true. Like, you should not be, you know what I mean? We're very like open and, with each other, but also, yeah, she never says anything bad about she's one of those like rare people. She never says anything bad about anybody, because she lets people form their own opinion.
Yeah.
She's just like, well, you'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Now, if she knew that it was going to actually hurt me, she would probably be like, I think you should keep your thoughts to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
She would never say, that person will tell everyone everything.
Right.
And I think having people like that around makes you better and want to be better.
Janelle is like that for me. Like I've had such, oh my God, Janelle has heard or seen me cry so many times because like she's that person that I call that I'm like, this happened or this happened again. And yeah, it's interesting because so many of us have had different perspectives or interactions with the same people in our industry.
Yeah.
And also, some people's interactions with people happened several years ago and you don't account for growth that might have happened.
Totally. Yeah.
And so, like, you can be hating somebody that your friend hates, but they're basing that off of a person that's, like, not even alive anymore. It's because you're a completely different person now. But
sure. Yeah, we can definitely all grow and change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, like, it's funny because I feel like when I first started meeting you, I was like, I don't know if she, like, doesn't like me or if she's just a really quiet person like my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I was like, I don't know if she likes me.
Oh
But
my
I
God.
think that's just, that was my own insecurities kind of just like playing in my head because we are in the same city.
Mhm.
But I think I'm glad that it took a while for us to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Because,
I
think it's fine.
definitely had the same thoughts. Like, I just was, like, unsure. And I do tend to, like, be really quiet.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty introverted. And especially, I think one of the first times we did meet, where were we? We were at sushi or something.
We went, were we in Utah? It
Why
was
were we in
really
Utah?
cold.
Christina's Lash.
Yeah, you guys
there
were
for
at a Lash
something.
class and I was training with Lindy. I was
Yeah.
like doing this because I was training with her.
Yes.
And you guys had just taken the photo editing, video editing
Yes.
class.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we all went to sushi.
Sushi, yeah.
And I rode in y'all's car or something?
Yes. It was like so cold.
Yeah.
I remember I ordered a martini and they gave me like half of it because they were like, you can't have more than this alcohol at the table. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's like another planet.
I remember you were kind of sitting like a diagonal from me or something. And I just remember being in my own head like, oh, I don't know. Like,
yeah, no.
And I also was having a hard time because there's all these people around and
that we didn't know.
I never,
yeah.
Like, how old was I at the time? I don't know. But like, that was a time where I felt like I had no idea who I was even. I wasn't secure in myself.
Oh,
and
same.
Then that comes across like you could have left that interaction and been like, she's a bitch.
I remember thinking, because someone was like, wait, you guys are from the same town and you don't hang out? And it was funny because then I felt insecure about it. Like, wait, why haven't we hung out? But I will say Austin's not that kind of place. Like in Arizona, it seems like all of them are friends, which I love because you'll go hang out with like Allie and then like 4 other amazing lashers that you like are stalk. Well, I stalk them all on Instagram because I love them all. And then you get to meet them and you're like, wow, everyone's so nice.
Right.
Utah people are really, really friendly. I think it's because their saturation there was so much greater but now it's really saturated in Austin. So there are a lot of us.
Yeah.
But people in Austin keep to themselves.
I also like I want to change that because like the Lash Boss conference is going to be in Austin. Also, I'm not doing it this year.
Okay.
I'm doing it next year. April.
And I'm going to make everyone roller skate.
Totally. Yeah. That'll be so fun. Yeah, I hope to change that about our city because it is kind of weird. That is how it was. But yeah, I could see that. But I think I do feel misunderstood a lot of times because me not saying much or like kind of just like keeping to the people that I like know really well already, like can look really bad too. And it's not that, it's that I'm just like I was, you're just
protecting yourself
or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will say if you are thinking that somebody doesn't like you or stuck up, it's probably in your own head.
Yeah.
And you just need to give that relationship some time because I mean, this just proves it. Like you spend enough real time together, not just like saying hi at a Lash conference. That's not enough. Yeah. Don't have high expectations because they're just people. Yeah. Like all of these people are so nice and usually very helpful. If somebody's a little rude to you, it probably has nothing to do with you, right? Or if someone doesn't answer your DM right away. Some people are like actually afraid of that, have like DMophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's stressful. You look at it sometimes and you're like, oh my God, there's like 50 of those. And then I have 40 texts. And for me, I'm like, I'm not trying to write everyone off. I'm just exhausted by the idea.
Yeah, sometimes I get a question, I'll answer the question, and then I get 10 more questions in the same message, like, and it's just question.
Sure.
I'm like, man, I don't know if I have the energy or time for this right now. And then I
I think
realize
it's good
been
to
a
even
month.
just say that.
Yeah.
Like, I know that sounds mean, but I really think being blunt with people and saying like, hey, you know, I can answer a couple questions, but right now, I really have to focus on what I'm doing, because
That's a good tip, because
you know what I mean?
yeah, I typically read it and then I'm like, might answer this later, and then it's been like a month and then I realize I never answered it.
Oh, I do that sometimes too. So I always tell people, if I don't do that, just message me back, because I'm the worst. I think a lot of my clients know that, and that's why I have an assistant now. Thank God for Alana, because she's now the gatekeeper of all the things, and
yeah, that's awesome.
it's much easier.
Yeah.
So. This was so fun.
This was fun.
I feel like we're
Thank you.
both too sneaky to actually
I know.
say mean things, but I'm actually excited because I feel like there's definitely more boisterous people.
I also want you to know, and everyone watching, I didn't really want her to rank her people like least. I just wanted her to eat it.
Shelby's really mean and evil, and that's what you should take from this whole
Just joking. Yeah, it was fun.
No, it was so fun.
Thank you for bringing the hot sauce.
Thanks for giving me lunch, because now I have to go lash and work all day. So yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much. It was fun today.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.